Hey everybody, Tom here with Hidden Beats, and today we're talking with the lovely Ekelle. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Could be better, could be outside doing fun things, I suppose.
This is true. This is true.
hmm But we'll have a fun time here for sure, and we'll get to learn a little bit more about you and your music. So, start off, I guess, for those who are new, can you give a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hey, it's your girl Kel. I'm an artist from Toronto, and I make a style of music called hood pop. It's a fusion of hip hop, pop, and R&B music. It's like pop, but with like a little street vibe.
Nice. So, first question, how did you get into music?
I guess I've always been a fan of it my whole life, but just like growing up, there was no tangible way to get involved. I'm not from a family with a bunch of money for like lessons and stuff like that. So it's like a dream I felt like I couldn't really do, but I had interest in. So I would like, write songs and try to do activities at school. But then eventually, when the digital age finally struck, I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's do this.
Who were some early inspirations for you listening to stuff coming up in the world?
I definitely had a lot of inspo from an out of the box artists like Missy Elliott and Timbaland working together. I
hmm
loved stuff TLC did, but then I also loved Britney Spears and then like Biggie, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've always been somebody who's liked a lot of different types of music.
Was there one song or something that kind of that one you're like, oh damn, that's the one that kind of set you on your path?
I think really just Nicki Minaj really inspired me because like for whatever reason, like interest had died down in female rap, or I don't know
hmm
why, but obviously artists were out there, but she's the one who kind of got it started again. And I was like, yo, why not? Like this girl's killing it. Like I'm out here
Yeah.
memorizing all of her damn songs. Like let me write my own.
I mean, I've even got Suitcase on my play that I rock out to ever so often. So Nikki does it for
That's
sure.
the one. I was like,
hmm
yeah, I do this.
For it's weird. Like I use that as like a hype up song because I know the words to that front and back, and I'm just rocking to it and having a good time.
It's such a vibe.
hmm And so main reason we're here today is to talk about your new single Flow. I believe it just dropped last week or something like that now.
Yes, on the 14th.
14th. How has that been received so far?
Better than I could have ever imagined.
Okay.
No, it's going great. Like, I'm getting picked up by some great outlets. I'm getting to talk to people like you, like people like friends and family are like, yo, this is great. Yo, this is the one. Like, it's just different. And I'm just happy that I just took my time, like getting it together.
What's your process like when you're putting together a track?
Um, it's different in ways. Like sometimes I have something very specific I want to write about. And if that's the case, I just start with like a notepad or something on my phone and I'm just piecing out my ideas.
hmm
But then sometimes the best lyrics come to me super randomly, like if I'm in the shower or something, I'm like, oh no, like I gotta get out and write this song. So flow took time. Like I had my ideas, but like I knew I really wanted to make it hit in a certain way. So I didn't rush myself. I just let good ideas come to me and I just took my time.
Okay, nice. And so how has your sound evolved back in like 2017? You had Bodywork and Destroyer. How's your process and your music evolved until now?
Honestly, I think it's a lot of just refining my skills, a lot of self-reflection. Like I knew I kind of had something, I had potential, but like it just wasn't like polished yet. So I just kept trying to work with different people who would, tell me the truth. Like, hey, you need to tighten up your flow here, or you can deliver it this way. Like, I was really trying to work with people who understood what I was trying to do and could be helpful. So I think
Mhm.
now that like I guess I kind of always wanted to. I knew what kind of sound I wanted to make. I just needed to do a little more work on my end to get it there. So yeah, I'd say it's evolved now that I am happy people are like digging what I'm doing. So now I can just do it in a bigger way.
How did working through COVID and everything go for you? I mean, a lot of people had to change a lot of the ways they did things.
Whew, it was a time. So
hmm
time I was working employed full, day job life. And unfortunately that company did shut down. Like a lot of us got let go at the
hmm
same time. The only good thing though is we did get a severance. So like that did alleviate some stress about money. So now that I just had that time to myself, I was really able to focus and create something. And that's when I put out my hood pop EP. Like I took my time, I yeah, just I had the time and it was just, I felt good. It was like the right time to do it.
Hmm. And did you kind of develop some new hobbies to kind of center yourself throughout all of that? I know everybody was all over the place, and these interviews actually for me started up during COVID. I'm a photographer actually, so I started doing things like this to
Nice.
explore new avenues for me.
What did I do? I guess for me, being like home, I just had a lot more opportunity to do things I couldn't do because of work. So there's a lot of great online conferences and things that started up. And I feel like because of that, I was able to meet people I wouldn't have met before because I was just too busy and I didn't always have time to get downtown to get to that certain thing to meet that person. So I attended a lot of conferences. I tried to just get knowledge, man, and just took a lot of walks so I wouldn't stress out. But like, yeah, I definitely embraced the friends more and just tried to keep good people around me.
I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of different things, and some people grasped really good on some people didn't. I mean, for myself, I literally sat at this desk for 8 hours a day still because I was working at from home the whole time. So I had to
Nice.
figure something to do.
Yeah, you got something good.
Hmm. And now, everyone's coming out of COVID. Live shows are back in full swing and festival season starting up. Where do you think, what's your opinion on the music scene now?
I think it's an exciting time. I think now, like with that COVID creativity, so many people who maybe were in my shoes as well, like wanted to just get better at their craft. Like we had time, right? So now,
Hmm.
like my peers are dropping amazing things as well. Like we're all stepping it up a notch, and I think it's very exciting. It's like I guess there's an element of competition, which I'm not afraid of. I think it's good because it pushes you to do better. But I think people are just getting more creative and people have really realized, yo, life's short, eh? Like you don't know, like what if we
Hmm.
didn't survive COVID? So like do the things you want to do now.
And what do you think it takes to stand out now with everyone releasing everything all at once and saturated industry? What's it take to be above someone else?
I think you really just, as cliche as this sounds, you have to be yourself. Like you're a unique individual. You're gonna do something different than somebody else, right? So I think just the more you lead into who you are and your experiences, that'll come through in your songs and give you like long-term fans who like understand where you're coming from. And I
Hmm.
think just your relationships, which matter a lot. Like you can have amazing songs and an amazing presence, but like if people don't like working with you, like it's not gonna happen. So I think it's just best to just, meet new people, try to be real, attract like real connections and grow together.
Hmm. And do you think, well, I mean, it harder for women in hip hop. What do you think it's important that more women start getting out there and rocking some new tunes and putting some new music out there?
I think so. And I would like to see a lot more women collab. But I think just because of like how the industry's always been, maybe women feel like more put against each other. But it's like, nah, if you have a hot song, I have a hot song, we come together and we put all of our efforts into this, we can fucking blow up. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Sadly, not enough people are thinking big picture like that. But I would love to meet some people who are.
Yeah, it'd definitely be nice to see a little bit more connection versus almost like separate camps and everyone doing
Yeah,
competing in that way.
exactly. And there's nothing like, just because you're competing doesn't mean it has to be like a bad thing. Like, it can be a positive. There's room.
Yeah, because no one is you. You're unique in your own
Exactly.
sense, and everyone can build off of that for sure.
No, I agree completely.
And Toronto, I mean, Toronto's coming up really good with Rolling Loud finally coming to Toronto last year, and it's supposed to be coming back this year. There's some pretty big stuff happening out there.
No, there is. I'm really happy like at the way it's grown. I think it's taken a while for our industry to really form, but like now it has, and there's so much more big opportunities like Rolling Loud coming. And no, it's great. It's good for all of us as artists and anyone in the industry.
Is there anyone out there that's kind of independent or something that you think more people should know about that you like what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm always gonna shout out dope artists I know. So I'm gonna shout out my girl Maisie F, holding down the maze and doing the six female cipher, where she puts on a lot of female MCs actually. And then I have another friend, Ikel Tomi, who has this unique sound as well. And yeah, I just want to bring up more artists with a different sound because I think it's important.
For sure. And I always love hearing new artists and new music. So it's great to find out who people are listening to right now too, because there's so much out there. It's impossible to catch it all.
Definitely.
Now, because you're someone in the hip hop world, everyone asks the question, who's your top 5 starting lineup for hip hop?
Uh-huh. So let's see. I'm gonna think about it, and well, definitely gonna say Nikki because she hella inspires me for sure.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say Missy, of course, because pioneered sound, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say I'm a Jay-Z girl. Like you gotta love the
Okay.
mogul for
Hmm.
sure. And let's see who else. I'm gonna also say Drake. Like, whether
I
people
mean,
like it or not, this guy really put shit on the map. Like, he did, right?
hmm
And who gets the last spot? I'm gonna go classic and just say NWA.
yeah, NWA, that's a good one for sure. I actually was lucky enough to meet DJ Yella and Eazy-E's son. They did a show here. Like I'm in Ottawa, so they did a bit of a tour, and I got with them for a bit. That was a
Sounds like it
fun
was
one
a
for
good
sure.
experience.
Hmm.
The stories alone.
That's it too, and you just listen because they've been through so much, and I was also with like one of the guys from Bone Thugs, and he was telling some stories. There's just to hear that old school like come up and what everyone was going through is it's just unique to listen to that.
No, it is because like there's never been a linear way to become a big musician. And especially back in the day, right? Like people really like got it out the mud and made the shit work. So it is very interesting to just hear how people got heard.
Hmm. And they built this what we're listening to now, really.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I was noticing when I was doing my little research and everything on you got a pretty good social media game going on, and you got I think you called them your kellers on your Instagram.
Yeah.
How how important is it to involve, social media and digital connections nowadays in music? I mean, everyone, you're a business now. You have to do a bit of everything.
It's a little hectic, but it matters. So like with Instagram, I do have to get a bit better about maybe scheduling some stuff out. Like I've been pulling back just because I've been so busy with the release and some other plans that I have. But when you do post, it is very important to engage with the people commenting on your stuff. And then, if you see a friend who has a release too, comment on that, share it. Like, especially if you know like they've been sharing your stuff and support back, like really help each other and just build that because as long as you have like a core base, you can exist as an artist. Like you don't need everybody, but you do need to treat the people engaging with you well.
And we're in a digital world, so that's the way
Yeah.
we're going. It's not like 10 years ago when you had to shake everyone's hand at a live show just and sell a CD just to make that connection for sure.
For sure, like definitely. And I think it's a bit easier now that we're digital because like there's no barrier. You can DM somebody, you can comment on their stuff, like email them. It's easier now, I think.
Yeah, not many middlemen. You can just connect with people. If you open up your DMs and someone's there, then it's easy to say hey, and I'm a fan, and have a good conversation that way too.
No, definitely. And yeah, sometimes I do get like sweet little messages like that. I'm like, oh my God. Like, they're nice to read when you're having a bad day and someone says, yo, like, I really like what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You're gonna go somewhere. Like, cause the shit's up and down. Sometimes you feel like you're on top of the world. And then sometimes you're like, oh, does anyone like me?
Hmm. And I'm sure you've probably got some weird ones too. Just being a woman in the industry, there's probably some crazy stuff you've seen out there too.
Definitely. Like I'd be filtering those messages. I'm just like, people are crazy.
Yeah. Now, myself, I love to. So I've been looking at a lot of interviews, obviously, recently, and one thing I love is to find out what's one thing that you'd be asked more in an interview that's not asked enough.
Hmm. That's a good question.
Mhm.
I guess um
It could be something that you might want to hear. It could be something that you might want to talk about in your interviews. There's all kinds of options out there.
I don't know. I guess I would like to hear more, I guess, about the independent artist hustle, just because with social media magic, like everyone is making it look easy, but we know it's not. We know that's not true. So it would be nice if people were like more forthcoming about like how hard it actually is.
Mhm. Yeah, I hear a lot of that because most of the people I get to talk to are more independent. They're not really label signed artists. So I hear so many stories about just what it is, in a van driving somewhere to a show one day and get,
But
tire breaks down, all kinds of different things.
yo, exactly. It's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, and I like that question too because it always me like I'm pretty decent with finding some and have a conversation. Sometimes it's asking questions periodically too, so that's like this to me. Another question I have is what's something on your go-to playlist that people wouldn't expect you're listening to?
That can go so many ways. I think
Hmm.
a few different things. Like one of my favorite bands out of Canada is Billy Talent. I love them. I think they're so dope.
Hmm.
And then, I also listened like growing up I would watch a lot of anime. So I have like a lot of Japanese and like Korean and other like Asian songs on my playlist too. Cause I'm just like, yo, they hit.
They do some stuff out there, that's for sure.
They do.
Hmm. Is there a track or something that you have on repeat that you think other people need to be hearing too?
That's a good question. Like other, like obviously I'm not gonna go say myself, but
Well, hey,
right now I
they're already gonna be listening to you. We're gonna be linking all that stuff.
well, I guess like in terms of just like stuff I like to hear, like I've been into what Chloe Bailey's been doing. I like her sound. I like where her album's going. Like I think she has some good stuff. Some people
Hmm.
think she's too much, but no, I like it.
No, that's great. And everyone needs to hear a little bit new. There's always new things out there.
No, definitely. But her song "Treat Me" is definitely one of the ones I really like.
Treat me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I pull that up on my playlist later. I have a playlist literally of when I ask these questions, I add those ones to my playlist so I can have a good variety of stuff going on.
That's great. Like, no, it's good to be open.
Hmm. I'm someone who loves a good song. If it's done well,
Same.
it doesn't matter if it's what genre it is. Could be screamo, could be country, could be hip hop, whatever. I'm someone who loves a good song, good track.
No, me too. I feel like genres, whatever. Like, if it's good, you're just gonna gravitate towards it. That's fine.
And like one of my guilty pleasure things is like classical music. I love to listen to John Williams composes a lot of the soundtracks for things like Jurassic Park and movie themes, and so I have a whole thing of that going on.
No, I love a good movie theme, especially
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's just you hear that sound, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah, or like the Harry Potter one. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, my wife, every time you hear that little bit of the chime at the start, and she goes, "Wait a minute."
Harry Potter's here.
Mhm. She keeps on telling me I have to take her down to Harry Potter Land and wanna get down there one of these days.
I want to go there too.
Mhm. We'll have a bus, and we'll just get a whole bunch of people going.
Great, I'm coming.
All right. So one of my most important questions, and I always leave this one to near the end, is why music? Why do you keep doing what you're doing?
I guess over the years I've discovered that I'm very much someone who just needs to do their own thing, create my own path for myself, and I feel like I can do that in music. I can express myself that way. My story is not being told. Like that's one another thing that drew me into it. It's like I was hearing different types of stories, but not mine. So I'm like,
Mhm.
well, I have experiences too that maybe people could relate to. So I want to share those. And yeah, like I don't know, like I tried the square job thing and I was like, I hate this so much. I
Yeah.
don't like this. And you only live once, man. So like, why not try to do something crazy that people think is unobtainable? But like, it is obtainable. It just depends on like what level of success you see yourself at. But like, I have a talent for writing songs. I love to perform. Like, I love working with other artists, and I don't know, I just like what I've been able to create, and I just really like this life that I'm building. So I'm just gonna keep pursuing it.
About how much work you're willing to put in. Like if you put the work in, you can make anything happen, really.
No, it's so true. That's what I say. So like when I get met with negativity and which does happen, people be hating, especially sadly when good things are happening. And I feel like, I'm hearing some of that right now. And it's like, okay, you can do that, you can hate.
Hmm.
Or you can go home, take out your pad and pencil and do better than me then.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
wasting your time because I don't care.
Hmm. What do you hope that people are going to take away from your music?
um, well, especially for my female audience, I really hope they take away empowerment. I really hope that they feel like strong and sexy and can share their stories and just no matter if, like what job they're in, like if they're corporate, if they're like hustling, if they're, you know, a stay-at-home mom. Like you just need to feel like a bad bitch sometimes, like all of us.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you definitely have the confidence, you know, you got your swag going on. Everything's looking pretty good on your end of the world.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Just keep it up. We all need a little bit extra of that positivity in the world.
Try.
So that's pretty much all I have written down in my notes here. I try to, you know, like I said, keep it casual and stuff. Is there any final tidbits or words of wisdom you want to leave to listeners that are new and old that might be watching this?
Yeah. I think like we've been saying this whole time, like whatever it is you want to do in this world, you can do it. So long as you're willing to put in the work and just be realistic about like what it's gonna take, you can do it. It doesn't have to be music, it could be anything. I don't know if you want to be like a pro BMXer. Do people still do that? I don't know. If you want to
I
like
think so, yeah.
be an actress, whatever. If you want to be like an entrepreneur and own a bunch of car dealerships, it doesn't matter. Like you have a dream for yourself and you can do it. Like you just need to break it down and figure out how you're gonna orchestrate those steps.
100%. I think that's a perfect thing to showcase to people and have that kind of that work ethic and, you know, go get what you want to get.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Well,
so. Just go get it. Like no one's stopping you but you.
exactly. Well, like I said, that's pretty much all I wrote down for my notes. And you know, it was a great time getting to know you and learn a bit more about you. We're gonna make sure we link everything, and the new single Flow is out now, and we're gonna see if we can run up some extra listens on that for you. And I definitely hope we get to have another conversation again at some point.
No, me too. This is nice. I was really looking forward to the video sit down.
Yeah, these like the videos for me were kind of we always used to do written interviews, and it was just email based, and then videos started, like I said, during COVID, and kind of went off pretty. I'm not a person that gets in front of the camera usually, so it's something different.
It's nice. It's more personal, and I think you can get deeper with this the video.
Yeah, and you can ad lib. It's easier to ad lib on stuff like this.
Definitely, for sure.
Well, we're gonna sign off, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I have my little one. I'm gonna go enjoy some outside time with, and go from
Definitely.
there.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. And like I said, we're gonna link everything, and we'll talk again.
Sounds good.
Bye.